And for a member of a Meko to call the pastor and in fact the entire church leaders thieves, then there must be something serious going on in that church. If you guys haven't seen the video, we can see women of, I think they are part of like maybe women's fellowship in a Methodist church. And one lady from that group is talking to the pastor when she's holding the mic, and she's talking bitterly. She said, no, for what he's preaching about, if he's going to talk about thieves, then he, the man talking, the pastor, the small pastor, in fact the entire church leadership, they are all thieves.
Papa, you can't rob enough from war. Bishop so suffocate to us so as sorry paying for steward for so we are cron for serious.
Okay,
We are cron for Papa Wokasa no snack can be bishop or say say Uba mi wunti tight ubi biwu mumma o to from one can say ubi biwu a yemfa tight enkotia one kind of woman.
And why is she saying that? She said because the man made a statement that if you are somebody who doesn't pay tithes in church, don't come to them with your issues. If your father dies or mother dies or you have any type of financial troubles or something, because you don't pay tithes, the church is not privy to help you. They don't have any help to offer you if you're not paying tithes. And you know, personally, I grew up in a Methodist church, so I know that tithes is very, very important, especially in the Methodist church. I don't know for other churches, but my mother, she takes tithes very, very seriously. She takes tithes very, very seriously. She has been a Christian her whole life. So she's also part of one of these, you know, church groups. And they take those things very, very seriously. But you can clearly see that this woman is lamenting because it's not right. You know, at the end of the day, church is supposed to serve as a sort of refuge. You know, sometimes people go to church not even because of anything. They just want to seek refuge. Like, life is hard. You know, life is hard. You just need some words of encouragement. So if you are turning the church into some kind of hostile environment, then where are people supposed to go? Which the lady also mentioned. She said people will not come to church again if this is the kind of message that you are preaching. This is the kind of things that you are telling them. You are trying to make the church too monetary. And me personally, I've always said that the church is very, very monetary. Like, they always talk about money, especially in Methodist church. Every day, if it's not harvest, one church day, they can do collection like 3 times. They will do, if it's harvest, cry, they will come and do appeal for funds. They will come and do, there's something called Kofi Niyama or something. You will come and do before there's regular offertory. And if you do first service and second service, both services you have to offer money. Like, and so we are always paying something. So that means if people are always constantly paying for something, then the church should have enough money to give back to the community. And I think that's what the woman is trying to say. Because it's quite ridiculous for you to say that, because not everybody has a job. That's also what the lady was saying. It's not everybody that has the money to pay tithes. And you guys know that tithes, if you don't know what tithes is, it's basically 10% of your income that you give to the church, or you give to God through the church. You get it? If somebody doesn't have a job, how is the person supposed to get money for tithes? That's one thing. Number two, just because the person is not paying tithes does not mean that the person is not, you know, I don't know, the person doesn't qualify to get help. You know, if you guys don't know, there was this one time, I don't know if it was the beginning of the year or the end of last year, one lady decided to conduct an experiment for like churches. I don't know if it was her area, but it wasn't in Ghana, it was abroad. So what she did was she would call, like she would find churches numbers online and just start calling. She just call. She would say like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm suffering. You know, I have a 6-week-old baby and I just need money for formula. She didn't just do this to churches, so she did it to the churches, and she also did it to the mosques, you know, the Muslim community there where they go and worship. So she did it for both churches and mosques. Can you guys guess which group of people helped this lady out? Can you guys guess? Because it wasn't the churches. It was not the churches, which is very, very sad, because you guys are always talking about Christianity and we want to be Christ-like and we need to be living pure lives. But you, the leaders of the church, you are not doing anything to help the congregation when they actually need help. Like, when somebody actually needs help, that is when you guys fail them, which is very, very bad. It's very bad. She called multiple churches and all of them were saying, are you a member of the church? She said, no, she's not a member. She just needs help, and she saw their number and she decided to call. Most of them, if not all, said, no, if you're not a member, we can't help you. Some were giving her long processes. You have to call this person, you have to call that person. Whilst your child is hungry and dying, where have you finished calling all those people? But when she started calling the mosques, mainly she called them like, oh, where are you? Where are you? Let's send some baby formula. What else do you need? They were very willing to help, which is very sad. I feel like that's something, you know, the Christian community we need to look at when it comes to helping people or giving back. The church doesn't want to do it. The church feels reluctant, but they are never reluctant to ask you for your own money. They're never ever reluctant to ask you for your money. And even once this woman was basically lamenting, their pastor is telling her, "Bon the tougher." She said, "You all can cry there in front of him." She should just summarize it so they can continue with collecting the money, which is just bad. This sends a very, very terrible message to the public. Why would people even want to come to church anymore? There's no help in the church. You guys are not even giving any positive vibes or nothing. Like, it's just straight demanding every single day, 24/7. You guys are changing what church is supposed to be for the people. And that's very sad. So let me know what you guys think about it. Do you guys have any personal experiences from any time, you know, a church member has failed you, or even the church as a whole has failed you? Or do you think we are exaggerating? You know, just pay your tithe and shut up. Let me know your comments in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been What They Go On right here at Yo Charlie Studios with me, Karen Jacqueline, your favorite host.